Good afternoon, everybody. This is Jen Ward with Pro West and Associates. And if you are in session 32, you are in the correct session, title name of Demo 3. And today what we're going to be talking about are road signs and management of road signs. Alex Lange from Pro West is our presenter this afternoon, and due to scheduling conflicts, he was unable to attend virtually live here this afternoon, but we do have a recorded session that I'm going to play for you. Just a little housekeeping items. If you have any questions, please feel free to enter them into the chat window. I will try my best to answer those for you, but any specific ones that I maybe am not able to answer, I will be sure to collect that information and pass it on to Alex, and he will reach out to you individually next week when he is back in the office. So with that being said, we are going to take a look at Alex's presentation, where we're going to be discussing Big Stone County specifically, and how they have managed to take their road sign inventory and management application and utilize their GIS system at the county to make it an efficient and effective and just really a great way to manage that data. So bear with me one second here while I switch this over to Alex's presentation. And I'm going to start the recording. If for some reason Alex's voice does not come through, if one of the participants would be so kind to let me know in the chat window, and I will try to correct that. But here we go.
Hi, and welcome to Road Sign Management, Manage Assets and Activities with WebGIS. My name is Alex Lange. I'm a Solutions Engineer at Pro West and Associates. Sorry I couldn't be there in person to give this webinar live. That's what I would have preferred to do, but with scheduling changes, we had to resort to this. But Jen is going to be on hand to answer any of your questions. If she can't answer them, she is going to relay those to me, and we'll get you those answers back at a later date. But what we're going to be going over here today is road sign management assets within the ArcGIS Online system, and specifically how Big Stone County has made the jump from several different iterations of their system to what they've currently deployed today, which is a really great way of managing your assets within the ArcGIS system. So without any further ado, let's hop in. So Big Stone County, Minnesota has been using ArcGIS Online and ArcGIS Enterprise to manage their road sign data for a while. So Big Stone County is a rural county in Minnesota, and they have a lot of signs to deal with, and they have limited staff to be able to do those. So being able to utilize an efficient method for editing and tracking not only the asset data, but maintenance and inspection records for them as well is really key to their operations. So we're going to take a look at the different generations that they from what they have to what they had back a few years ago, and then we'll move into some field operations information and follow that up with a demo of the actual solutions that Big Stone County has deployed. So the first generation of this road sign management system was ArcGIS Online. So the county only had ArcGIS Online at the time. So all of its licensing and solutions were running on the cloud-based Esri system. So being able to actually bring in that road sign data, have those user accounts set up for the field workers to be able to take a look. We had it set up where the feature class was for the asset itself, the actual sign, and then a table was set up with a relationship on that asset for maintenance and inspections. A web map was made for access via collector, and there was a web app builder manager solution to manage all of that data on a desktop or in the office after the field users were done collecting data in the field. A very simple deployment of utilizing or using asset management within ArcGIS Online, but it worked very well. The second generation of this was when we took everything that was part, or when Big Stone County took everything that was a part of that system and moved that over into ArcGIS Enterprise. So here we now have taken all of that data that we had in ArcGIS Online and moved that over into Enterprise. So that puts it behind a secure firewall. It allows users to now log into the portal for ArcGIS rather than ArcGIS Online, but we still have the same deployment of collector and the manager solution that there was in ArcGIS Online. And then that comes to the third generation, what we're going to be talking about most today, which is a similar deployment, but with a few key differences. One of those differences, instead of a table to manage maintenance and inspection records, we now have one new feature class where that tabular data has been brought and attached to an actual location, and that location being stacked on top of the actual road sign asset data. So you can think of that classic example of GIS layers stacking on top of each other. And in this case, we're dealing with road signs where we have a point, a road sign, and then multiple inspection or maintenance inspection records stacked on top of it. And we'll take a look at that more in depth when we actually get to the demo today. But with this new feature class, they were also able to deploy a version of Survey 123 or ArcGIS Survey 123 for field and web application editing. And we'll take a look at that system here in just a second. But just to note that that Survey 123 is being deployed through ArcGIS field maps. We still have that web app builder manager solution that we had in prior generations. And then there have been two new additions that Big Stone County has added into their management system. So the first is an enterprise site or a internal hub site, if you will, for road sign maintenance. Essentially, we're taking all of the applications and data that are being utilized for this process and bringing it all together into one centralized location. The other solution is a dashboard, and the dashboard is really important because it's not only taking a look at the most current access or activity data that's being done on given road sign assets, but it's utilizing the other feature class that's been developed for this system called most recent activity, which is where we're taking those maintenance and inspection records and really focusing on the most recent one for all the given road signs across the county. So it all starts in the field. Again, I wish we were able to do this in person, not even just live webinar, but actually in person in St. Cloud. And I'd be able to pull out my phone for you guys and be able to show you all the different field solutions that they have. But alas, I am not able to do that. So we are going to be relegated to PowerPoint slides, but we'll get through these as best we can. So like we said prior, they had access to to their data in the field via ArcGIS Collector utilizing a table for maintenance and inspection records. Now we've upgraded that to now utilizing ArcGIS field maps. Big Stone County was one of the early adopters of ArcGIS field maps, and they've had a very seamless transition from collector to the new mobile application for data collection. Very much enjoying that new deployment. The other piece of this was adding ArcGIS Survey 123 as the second mobile app that they're going to be utilizing in the field. We can see that little screenshot we have on the little hand on the slide is actually a view of ArcGIS field maps with Big Stone County's road sign data. We can see that there is a sign selected. There is a pop-up viewable where we can see a new inspection record can be collected by selecting that button. That button will then deploy ArcGIS Survey 123 to create a new maintenance and inspection record. And before I get too far into that, we just note that we are still utilizing field maps for collecting new road sign assets, as well as editing asset data on existing road sign locations. All that can still be done within the field maps mobile application. I would say that they're most utilizing the maintenance and inspection records to this point. We'll see how they are able to better manage their asset data via the manager solution later on in today's demo. So going into that maintenance and inspection record, so when we deploy Survey 123, a couple of things are happening. So utilizing Survey 123's URL parameters, we're able to do do a couple of things to better manage maintenance and inspection records. The first is we're actually able to copy the road sign asset data and move that over into each maintenance and inspection record. So this is really handy for the folks that want to be able to take a look at not only the inspection itself, what actually happened during the inspection, but what sign are we actually dealing with to this point. They'll be able to see the location on the map, but not only that, but take a look at the actual attribute information for that road sign. And a note here on at least the Big Stone County operations. We have a couple of definitions I think would be good to go into briefly. One is an activity, meaning when we go to a sign location, we're going to perform an activity on that sign location. And that can be of two different types. An inspection, we're just doing a visual look and see what is going on with that sign, or maintenance. We know there's something going on and we need to do something, and we're going to collect a record to showcase that we actually did something rather than just look and inspect it. So that's how Big Stone County is doing it. Obviously, Survey 123 allows them to configure those options however they so choose. Without any further ado, we're going to jump into the demo where we're going to take a look at that road sign management center. We're going to take a look at that road sign manager, and we're going to take a look at that dashboard as well, just to give you a view of how Big Stone County is able to manage this information. All right, so this is the road sign management center for Big Stone road sign asset data collection. So we can see right away that this site looks similar to many of the hub sites that I'm sure you're now very familiar with. We're able to take a look and see that we're actually looking at the data right away off the bat without any need for any other solution. We're able to look at the number of road signs, the number of activities, inspection and maintenance information, as well as replacements and repair information, all right from the hub site. No need to look at anything else. They're able to pull those key indicators that they want to be able to see right on their enterprise site utilizing Portal for ArcGIS Enterprise. Scrolling down, we can see a couple other things. We're showing the actual workflow for conducting a roadside inventory, inspections, reviewing the reports, and for planning. That can be useful, very useful for new employees or employees that are training in on the system. And we're also have an embedded web view of the actual road sign data. So if somebody has a sign in mind or they know a location, they just want to quick go look at that asset data, they can do that via this little embedded map. They're able to go ahead and click on a road sign. At pop-up information will appear so they can take a look at that sign itself and look when it was last edited, or in any information that they would like to see on that given sign. A little note on the symbols for road signs. Obviously, there are a lot of different signs out there. So Big Stone County has actually created generic symbols for categories of road signs. So they're able to tell just from a quick glance what is a route marker, what is a regulatory sign, and so on and so forth. That has made road sign maintenance very easy for them going forward. They're able to categorize those signs rather than having individual symbols for each different type of road sign, which could get a little cumbersome and not that pleasing to the eye as they can see that on those web maps. Scrolling down, the section is for applications. We'll get to that in just a second. I'm going to scroll past that. Just to show that we can also place some open data on here. So maybe there's a reason that they need to download their road signs, download their inspections. And actually Big Stone County has a couple of subsets that they wanted to be able to download at any given time. So there's a couple of other layers that they've added to this open data section. So we actually are able to download data from these enterprise sites as well. Very helpful for Big Stone County operations. And then a little bit of contact information for anybody in the organization that is new and wants to ask questions about this given hub site. So by clicking on the Manage Data button, we're able to deploy the first of the two other solutions we're going to look at today. The first is the Big Stone County Road Sign Manager. So here's real meat and potatoes of what we're able to do with the actual road sign data. Right away, we can see we've deployed the Smart Editor widget so that we can add or edit signs within this actual road sign manager. If I zoom in here and click on a given sign, we can see that information comes up in the Smart Editor as editable. We can change all that data or update data that needs updating. We can actually also look at that data in a tabular view as well. We have configured the attribute table widget has been configured so that we can take a look at all that tabular data for road signs inspection, and most recent activity layer. And that is very helpful for those that still like to take a look at that Excel spreadsheet type view. And it interacts with the map in a very helpful way. So once we have a sign that we're taking a look at, if we would like to actually see that sign and where it is on the county, we can hit that zoom to button and we take a look at actually where that sign is actually located. Very, very handy tool for Big Stone County operations. Moving to the layer list, if we toggle off the road signs, we can toggle on the road sign inspections. These orange indicators are just indicating where those inspections are right on top of those road signs. And by clicking on one of them, we can see that there can be multiple road sign inspections that are on top of the actual road signs. And we can show two things within these pop-ups. One, we're actually showing the actual inspection information, and then we're showing the sign details. But we're also giving access to actually edit that given inspection. So just by clicking on that edit inspection button, we're deploying the Survey 123 that we saw earlier that's available for the mobile devices. It's now available within the web tool to be able to see all that data and edit it if need be. And then by turning off the road sign inspections, I can turn on most recent activity. So this is, again, that list of inspections. We're going to take the most recent one, place that into a different layer for filtering or for monitoring the data. And here we can then click on those, take a look and see what actually happened during that inspection or maintenance activity. The last thing I'll point out within this road sign manager is that we're able to take advantage of the filtering capabilities within ArcGIS Web App Builder. So we have road signs, road sign inspections, most recent activity layer. All of the attribute data that's inside those layers can be filtered and filter the map to be able to see where we may be lacking in certain types of assets. When was the last time all this data was looked at, what type of sign is looking at what type of condition. All this different attribute information can be filtered and gone through by supervisors or directors on the road sign management to take a look at all of that really nice data that we're taking all this time to manage via mobile and desktop solutions. Really good, really good tool for road signs in general. The last solution I'm going to deploy here today is the road sign dashboard. So here's where we're taking that most recent activity layer. So the last inspection that was done on every single road sign location. We're going to pull all that data into one dashboard for better viewing of how our operations are currently being handled. We can see when was the where was the last inspection done? Where was the last maintenance activity conducted? When was signs replaced or repaired? Big Stone is also tracking post information about when they've swapped out posts for signs. So all that can be brought into this overview dashboard as well. But the real magic happens on the second tab, where we're taking a look at the most recent activities and taking a really in-depth look using ArcGIS dashboard charts. We can see that we're mostly conducting inspections or replacing given signs via this chart. We can see that for the most part, upper and lower posts are being replaced rather than repaired. We see that we're conducting a lot of inspections versus maintenance, which is what we'd like to see. We'd like to see that these are in good condition rather than having to maintain them or swap them out. But the activity by month chart is actually one of my favorites because it not only shows when was the last inspection done, but by clicking on these, we can actually filter out the map and show which of these signs were done at that given time period. So we can see we have lots of inspections that have happened prior to 2021. So those are going to be key going forward to inspect those signs versus maybe other signs down the road. Now we can see that we're actually labeling or symbolizing all of these road signs a different way this time. We're actually doing this based off of that actual type, whether or not it's been inspected, replaced, installed, or repaired. But if you were also tracking condition of a sign, so whether it was in good, fair, or poor condition, you could also utilize these type of symbols to show that data, which can be very helpful and have a chart for that as well. And then we have a listing of all the most recent sign maintenance or inspections that have been happening. And we can then click on those records and zoom to those locations on the map to take a look at those actual records one at a time. We can go ahead and click on that data, take a look at that inspection information. And again, this whole dashboard is being powered by that most recent activity layer, which is very key to their operations and newly added into this new iteration of Big Stone County road sign maintenance. So that is what I'd like to show today. I know that was a very quick view of things, but it's really fun to be able to see how Big Stone County has gone from ArcGIS Online to Enterprise, and now this full deployment of ArcGIS Enterprise utilizing dashboards and Survey 123. Really great asset management system. And we're just going to do a quick recap here. So we looked at the road sign maintenance center. We looked at where we have a centralized place for road sign data maintenance. We have our road sign manager where we edit asset and utilize the smart editor to edit our data in the field, from the field in the office, take a look at that most recent activity layer, and then we get to take a look at the key performance indicators of that most recent activity layer via that road sign dashboard and really get a hard look at how inspections or maintenance activities has been done at Big Stone County for the most recent visits for road sign assets. So the takeaways, let's just say this is a great asset management system that Big Stone County has put together. It's utilizing all out of the box solutions, so it's a very real and goal to attain to have Big Stone County be your kind of mentor on this. Signs is essentially a placeholder in this. So if you have other data that you wish to manage, just like Big Stone is managing these signs, all of this can be done exactly the same way with whatever asset you choose to be tracking for your organization. And as we saw, having enterprise is not a requirement. ArcGIS Online can replicate these processes, and this entire deployment could be done in ArcGIS Online if you did not have ArcGIS Enterprise.
Hi, everybody. Well, that was the end of our recorded session with Alex there. And I'm just going to take a quick look here to see if we have any questions. And it does not look like we have any questions at this time. I will leave it open here for a couple minutes just in case there are any that pop up. Other than that, we appreciate you guys all taking the time to attend this session with us here today. And I do know that they are going to have these recorded sessions available. I'm not really sure how they will be dispersing that, but I'm sure there'll be emails coming out with letting everybody know how to get a hold of these. So with that being said, thank you all so much for joining us this afternoon. Have a great rest of the conference. Bye.